Come on, man. I know you love the new theme.
That was cool. It's just so cool. And then this podcast is just not as cool as the whole intro. No, good job. Good job on the theme. I like it.
All right, we're getting better. Without a producer, we're getting there.
It's not emo though. It's not emo. That's for sure.
No.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah, we really should have had.
It should be Ohio is for lovers, to be honest with you, but
good old Hawthorne Heights.
Yes.
Can we get the rights to that? Are they expensive?
Fuck it, dude. Just send it.
It'd be super punk rock if you just did it anyway, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man!
You have to
Copyright
ask.
strike.
Y'all gotta show me how to do it. I wasn't like a punk rock guy, so I'm outnumbered here.
Well, for those who don't know, tonight we are joined by Ben Weir. Weir, did I say that right?
Weir. Yeah.
Weir.
It's weird without the D, but not without the D.
Hey, that's your
I've
sheriff.
had to say that a couple times.
That's your sheriff right there, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right.
So
So Ben, how about you introduce yourself a little bit, just to give some of the people listening who might not know who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I am an activist for the Second Amendment, and I try to do like gun events every once in a while, a couple times a year. I just had a gun buyback at a police precinct in Manchester where we offered to buy back police guns for $25 and free donuts. And I didn't get any, but I ran for sheriff last year. County sheriff in the biggest county in New Hampshire. And I'm planning to probably run again next year as well. And I started off my work in the Libertarian Party out in California. I was with the Libertarian Party of Sacramento. And then I also helped a lot with organizing as a Northern coordinator. I helped get 9 counties affiliated with parties. Then I moved out here to New Hampshire, and I got involved right away, helping Jeremy Kaufman with his campaign as an events coordinator. And then I'm currently on the board for LP&H as well. And I grind. Last year at Reno, I said, look at all these cool caucuses. And I was like, I need to have a caucus for my people. So I started the Libertarian Party Emo Caucus. The rest is history so far. I'm just trying to stay busy and do fun shit that I enjoy so that this doesn't turn into just work for me.
Nice. We can switch caucuses. We can rub caucuses. Mitch and I started the Denny's caucus.
Dude, to be honest with you, I could get down for some emo and Denny's all day.
Feel
like there is a story behind it. We kind of abandoned it because Denny's screwed us over in a time.
Well, it was God that failed during COVID.
I feel like our two caucuses could almost dock, if you know what that is. You know what docking is? Yeah.
I mean, every night, dude.
Docking caucuses.
How we do. Yeah.
We're gonna touch caucus tips for sure.
Yeah. I love it all day. It's gonna be a grand slam, dude. It's gonna be an absolute grand slam.
Yes.
Maybe also a lumberjack slam if we wear flannel.
Oh, fuck. The docking caucus. Nice.
All right, good way to start this one. Here we go. We're back at it again. Let's go.
Denny's, what the fuck is up?
Yeah.
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
Just drop your nuts.
We got to recruit that guy.
So on the topic of the whole emo caucus thing, I'm glad that we could have you on to kind of discuss this because there seems to be a lot going on lately. I've noticed a lot of based guys from people from the emo world coming out as based.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, I've been playing music for a long time. I toured for over 8 years with my band. We played Warped Tour in 2015. I played big festivals with A Day to Remember, Korn, and Stone Sour. I mean, my band was more of punk rock. We weren't as heavy as Korn and Stone Sour, but we got offered big opportunities and we took advantage of them. We kind of helped run the Denver music scene for a couple years there, and I was a talent buyer and I made a lot of connections and stuff. And if there's one thing that's just extremely clear to me, it is that there are so many people who hate the government in the music scene. And there's literally no pathway for them to come into liberty. Like me, I started off as an anarchist. Like I was an anarchist since I was like a teenager. And my political views started because of the music I listened to. So, you know, it's one of those things where this has been a passion of mine for a long time. I've played music since I was like 11, turning 34 next week. So it's been a long time. And, you know, I want to be the guy to go to the people that I know best. These are like the people that I understand that are just kind of like me, and talk to them about liberty in a way that they're going to understand, that's approachable to them, you know, and for them to not be afraid to speak up for themselves. Because, I mean, if there's anything we've learned over the last several years, like censorship is at like an all-time high, and musicians especially are scared to speak out against those type of things because they're scared to get canceled and lose their entire livelihood. You know, it's one of those things where we need that gateway between the anti-government music scene and the liberty movement. And I'm not even like just saying the Libertarian Party. Like my caucus is for the Libertarian Party, and I'm going to try to bring as many people in from that as possible. But just into the ideas of libertarianism and liberty as a whole, we have like a really big opportunity. This is a huge like missed market that we haven't even touched like really ever. So I'm going to be putting together like a street team and basically like giving out flyers and business cards for people to kind of join in to this fun caucus that just talks about emo music and punk music, just as like a gateway for them to like start opening their minds to things that maybe they hadn't thought of before, that are also very likely closely aligned with a lot of their views. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like my mindset with Emo Caucus and my goal. I just kind of want to make it like a gateway or a pipeline between that music scene and the liberty movement, because it just hasn't been there. Nothing's doing it. So we need something. We need people to hit the streets and talk to people. So
is this your way of getting LP New Hampshire to fund you just going to punk rock festivals? And
I don't need LP New Hampshire to fund me to do that, but right. I am going to try to go to and table major festivals for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I would like to just advertise us basically as the fuck you vote, because that's probably going to bring in a lot of people just off of that.
Like, oh yeah, that's kind of what we're all about.
Yeah. Like nobody, if you talk to these people, they all fucking agree the two-party system, it doesn't work, and they hate it. They hate the candidates that they have. They're going to hate ours too. But like, this is like a act of rebellion. Essentially, it can be, you know what I mean, to just vote for not the normal thing. So
I did pull up the what the fuck is up Denny's here, and I think that's got to be a sound now for us,
dude. Please. For real, how has it not been?
Please.
Yeah.
Holy crap,
this is special. This is a moment right now. Are you drinking a High Noon? Okay.
Yeah, I got a PBR too though, because that makes me a little bit more like punk rock. I think that's like the venue drink. I always got like free PBR when I play shows, so
that's okay. This is all I got right here. This in the name of the old swamp creatures. I'll go ahead. I'll take two shots throughout the show. I'm gonna take one shot now. This Tennessee honey. We used to have a 2-drink minimum on this show, so
I'm already too deep. So
there you go. Hey, let's go. All right.
God damn, our guest is beating us at tradition.
We had like 6 hosts on here, and it was a bad time. Go back and watch some of those old episodes.
Man, the COVID episodes were a different thing entirely.
Yep. But I mean, I like what you're doing. You're active as an activist and a musician, and you're actually running for office. You know, it's hard for libertarians to find someone that will actually run. That's kind of been the issue, right? Finding local candidates. Yes. You're all about that.
It is really hard.
4 hours of interviews with you today, so I was like, I like this guy.
Nice. Yeah, it's hard to find people to run for office, man. It really is, and it's a thankless job that you put tons of hours into. Sheriff?
Yeah. Why?
Dude, you can nullify everything.
Right.
Like literally, like my campaign, my motto was deputize everyone. and I ran on ending qualified immunity, ending civil asset forfeiture, treating PTSD with like alternative medicines like cannabis and psilocybin, ending no-knock warrants.
Let's go. Ibogaine.
Dude, you can fucking like change the game. If you get a good person elected as sheriff, there's bad laws. You can tell the ATF to kick rocks if they want to come into your county. Like literally just you can nullify every shitty law in the book.
I did want to ask people, this. Were
you
ever in law enforcement before? Because I think in some states, in order to run for sheriff, you have to have had.
I am not. And in my state, you do not have to. It's a constitutionally protected with our state constitution position.
Nice.
You can be elected as sheriff without any law enforcement experience. I was in the military for 2 years, and I don't like to talk about that. But like, if I'm talking to somebody that's like more, I guess, on the right side of the spectrum, they'll ask me that question, and I'll say like, well, I was in the military. And like, oh, okay. All right. Well, that's fine. I guess that works. You know what I mean?
Did they ever go any, like, I don't want, if you don't want to get into it, we don't have to get into it.
You're good.
Did you do, like, were you like an officer in the military, or were you?
I was in the infantry.
Okay.
I was in the infantry. So I shoot shit. I love guns. So
there you go.
Yeah, and I ended up getting discharged.
You just say that. I shoot guns. Like that qualifies you for sheriff. Like, I can shoot shit.
Second, dude. Yeah, there shouldn't be any gun laws. So.
Yes, and you want to deputize everybody, right? That was the plan.
That was my campaign slogan. Sure, yeah. And yes, we had Aria, who was part of the Crypto 6 up here in New Hampshire. I don't know if you know that story, but transgender Satanist. She ran as a Republican, and she won the Republican primary. She lost the actual election, but truthfully, like I got 12% of the vote last year running third party, and I've already
stuck to your guns and ran as a libertarian.
I ran as a libertarian.
I know the strategy up there, but I think I really like
having a hard time because
I mean, if I could just feel free to steal my idea for Florida here. I think you guys are in a better state to do what I want to do with Florida and just get rid of the Democrats, make them go the way of the Whig Party.
Yeah, I mean, we have people willing to like pay for their moving expenses to get out of the state. So, that we have that here. So we don't want them here. I'll say that I am torn right now because I am a libertarian. I've been a libertarian for every time I voted since I was, 21 or whatever, 18, whatever the law was. But freaking I've been a libertarian my whole life, and I know for a fact, 100% fact, I run as an R, I win the election. I have the blessing of officers in the New Hampshire GOP to run as a Republican too. And I have the blessing of various organizations saying that they would support me in that run. Mm-hmm. And I would win, like without a doubt. Every Republican down ticket in my county won, except for the race that I was in. And that Republican was actually a career Democrat. So that's a whole nother story. He only ran because he lost the Democratic primary. So, but I would win, and it would not change the fact that I am a libertarian. I could pull a Justin Amash and get in there and just basically be like, that's what I'm not a Republican. Gotcha. But let's say I win, right? Mm-hmm. All of this shit that I'm trying to accomplish, like it would set a standard for the entire country. Like this is the way to do law enforcement from our perspective. And it would literally open things up so much. I would probably be hanged in the streets because of the shit I would be accomplishing. Yeah. But at the same time, I could implement something and generate people talking and put out ideas out there that have never even been tried before. So that's where I'm at. So I'm leaning the direction of running as a Republican as of right now. But I am a fucking libertarian, and that is where I'm at. If someone wants to try to convince me to not do that, they can try.
Yeah. I mean, it's a strategy. It's not even the paleo strategy, because what you're saying is you would just switch back. I think the paleo strategy is just staying Republican and trying to change the party from within. I think New Hampshire's just unique in that you
Yeah.
have counties the size of a Walmart supercenter, I guess. So take over.
Well, we have like 40 state reps out of 400 that identify themselves as libertarians. And, you know, some of them, like I had one speak at an event of mine that I put on, and he's even wearing a shirt that says Ron Paul was right about everything. Like they're actual libertarians. These aren't just like, you know, your typical Republicans. They're just running as Republicans basically. And they're winning. So I there's something to be said there. And because of that, we are able to pass things like essentially nullifying federal gun laws last year. That shit isn't happening in any other state. So they can try to come at us with bans and shit, and it's just not going to work. So
I kind of wanted to ask you about that. Like, what are some of the things that New Hampshire's done with this strategy, with the Free State Project and all that, as far as policy wise?
I can tell you right now, like just today, we had the vice chair of the New Hampshire GOP tweeting about passing Defend the Guard. We also have the head of the Progressive Caucus of the State House here tweeting about passing Defend the Guard. So like this is something that's being led by libertarians that are part of the Defend the Guard movement here in New Hampshire. Derek Prue has been like a staple of this. But like we are really pushing this idea of bringing our troops home and, you know, pass like ending unconstitutional, you know, deployment of troops.
Yeah, we had Diego on here.
Diego's fucking awesome.
Maybe like a month or two ago. So yeah, we're trying to get that.
I think we will be the first state to pass it all the way.
I could see that happening. If you guys need help, let us know.
Yeah. And to anyone who wants to help Phone Bank, please go sign up for Defend the Guard. Mm-hmm. But no, with New Hampshire too, there's kind of this weird thing where it really is a special case. Because it's like when you talk about running as a like a Liberty Republican, as let's just call it that, call spade a spade. When you try to do that here in Florida, you're basically treated like the outsider, like you aren't one of them. The closest we have here in Florida is Anthony Sabatini, and while he does do his best in certain areas, he's kind of treated. He's treated like he hates us, but whatever. He treats us like the redheaded stepchild.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
He treats us that way.
Ginger's household.
His own party treats him like trash too. They treat him like gum on his shoe.
Are redheaded stepchildren like gum on shoe? I didn't know.
The redheaded stepchild. You didn't even let me finish. The redheaded stepchild that you're feeding a bucket full of fish heads to.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So yeah, that's where I've been. I'm gonna probably run again next November, but I'm gonna get an earlier start. Like literally, last year I didn't start campaigning until like I want to say it was like the beginning of June. Next year I want to start in February.
And then libertarians also, from what I was listening to one of your interviews earlier, you guys have ballot access issues to where they bumped it up. From
we don't have ballot access. I had to go and like get all the petitions signed to get on the ballot. You know, and even with that, like they tried to kick me off of the ballot by like some technicality that they basically made up. So I had to fight against party. Right. And I fought against the ballot law commission here and I won my appeal. You know, with a 4-1 yes vote to re-put me on the ballot. And really they just had no leg to stand on. They were just like discriminating against me because I was third party and gonna fuck up their vote.
Take your damn third party politics. We don't take kindly to you around here.
Wrong.
Yeah, right.
Even though that's right, I mean, you can give them that's how we should argue every single time. No,
it was an adventure. I learned a lot last time, and I know that using that again going forward, like I'm just gonna be set up for success. It'll be a good thing. So, especially getting, what'd you say, 12% of the vote as I got 12%. Yeah, I mean, as a libertarian, I feel like that's above the standard. You know, the standard. I don't think that there's any of the libertarians that got more than like 12%, with exception of maybe a few. Most of them were definitely trending around the 3 to 4% range. So we have some guys here. Dennis Missigoy, I think he did a good job of getting above what I would consider standard here in Florida for
like a Senate race. You know, that
Nice.
Misagoy
was
did
pretty cool.
better than I know he's listening here, so God bless his heart. I know Misagoy did better than Hector, but Hector was a more contentious race.
Percentage wise, yeah, Hector went for governor. But that that's a different story. I mean, we obviously we're in the Mises caucus here in Florida, so we obviously preach going local. So we support everything you do, and I'm gonna follow all your stuff and hope you win again. I
Thanks.
didn't know that the election already happened and that you lost, and I'm happy to hear that you're doing it again and just keeping at it. So you're not gonna move down to Florida. That sucks. We need more people like you down here. Pretty cold up there.
We need more people like us everywhere, dude. There's
Right.
just not enough of us.
Well,
That's true.
I want to get into some of the fun stuff. The reason why this episode is named what it is.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Bro, what's going on with Franz from Attila? Actually, before you did, Rob, are you familiar with the band Attila?
No, but that's fine. I'll go with it.
Okay, this is going to be more fun than I thought then. Ben, what's going
All right,
on with
guys.
that?
So let's start here, okay? We're talking June 2023, June 1st, 2023. We had Mike Termont, Lars Mapstead, and Chase Oliver as our presidential nominees, potential candidates. Everyone's complaining about this. All right. Everybody, period. Nobody's happy with these guys being the party's front runner, at least not in my circles. So I began reaching out to some libertarian leaning big name musicians and also fellow actual establishment libertarians within the party. I reached out to people like Franz and, a couple other big musicians as well about running. I hadn't heard back from Franz at first. But then also I reached out to Josh Smith and I reached out to Toad, and they both said yes.
Nice.
So let this disclosure come. There's three awesome fucking candidates.
Toad's not running for president, right?
Yes, he fucking is.
No
dude.
way.
We're going to have Toad debate Duke on our show. I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm the reason Duke Chastain is running, and I'm also blackmailing him with pictures of him on an island. So
let the record show, my opinion, the three best candidates that we have as of right now, I personally fucking asked them to run for president, and they fucking said yes. So just fucking ask people the question. If you're not happy with how things are going, just fucking try. And someone's going to fucking say yes at some point. Well, a little bit down the road, Toad announced, then Josh announced, and Franz hit me back. I was emailing him and then we were texting a bit too. And he's down. So, I was like, dude, this is huge. He's down to do it. He's helped with Eric July produce some of his music, and he's definitely, he calls himself a libertarian. He's, in my opinion, 95% of the way there to where we are. He's definitely not like a perfect libertarian. He's had some takes that were interesting, to say the least, that I know we're going to talk about. But he's a dope dude, man. And all of his songs are about fuck bitches, get money. He has an OnlyFans. So he's like, for decriminalizing sex work. He's a cool dude, man. He's super pro 2A. He's anti-censorship. He wants people to speak their minds and not get canceled for it. He says the right things. But I announced this last Monday, we announced that he is running for president of the United States of America under the Libertarian Party tickets. Wow. I'm fucking stoked about it. Like, I know, and it's been a fucking rough week for me because I'm getting fucking blasted by a lot of goddamn libertarians that are purists, that are treating this whole thing as a purity test. And I understand. I really fucking do. I understand. I have been part of the movement to get these shitty people, a lot of shitty people, to fucking go away. But hear me out here. In less than 24 hours, this dude's fucking Twitter announcement had over 1 million views, and over all the platforms, over 2 million views. All right. So he
That's
has
pretty good. That's pretty solid.
Platform that is going to amplify the Libertarian Party. All right. And I'm not saying people have to be pragmatic. They don't have to even vote for him at convention, to be honest with you. Like, I hope that people do, but like, truthfully, this man has a platform, and we should respect that. He's anti-war. He's good with economy. He doesn't believe in like transing kids or hormone therapy under age of 18. These are like good principled takes. He told me specifically, if the Libertarian Party didn't exist, he would, be running as a Republican probably. And I mean, for me, I'm definitely lean more on the right side of the spectrum. I try not to play the whole authoritarian shit, with the,
the political spectrum. My bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
the political spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like I try not to do that too much because people have different flavors
There's
of
different
authoritarianism.
spectrum. Yeah.
You don't respect me because I recruited Toad, and that's fine. But Toad is funny as hell. And he's the only candidate that is willing to tear gas Israel to bring emo tears to that country for what they are doing to the Palestinians. So
tell RFK that.
I don't know why.
So before we continue on, and we talk about some of those controversies, Rob, I brought up Franz's announcement here. It's only a minute long. I'm curious to see how you react.
Okay. I also do want to throw out that we are friends of the Tower Power Hour. So Toad,
I love them.
Toad's here.
Yeah,
Toad's a gangster.
Right here.
Exactly. Although I think Toad needs to stop running and debate my candidate, Duke Chastain.
Okay, yeah, we should do that. We should host that, or Tower Power Hour host it. They probably have the right
Power Hour?
Swamp Power Hour would be good. All right, let's play this.
Today is the biggest day of my life. My name is Chris Bronzak, and I am running for President of the United States of America. I am not a politician, but let's face it, the world has never been helped by politicians. The government is corrupt. We don't need any more politicians running the show. We need real people, real critical thinkers. We need a candidate that represents the American population. I came from nothing, and because of the American dream and my God-given talents, I was able to build an empire. I want to make America a better place for everyone. I represent every single person in this beautiful country, and I want to make sure your voice is heard. That's why I believe you should vote for me to be President of the United States of America.
Oh, I love the fade to the flag.
Fade to the flag.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with the flag.
Yeah, 100%. He just leaped RFK and Vivek Ramaswamy in my votes, right?
Be careful what you say.
There were people shitting on him over the Modelo, and I was just like, that's my favorite beer.
I like Modelo's, and they were saying like it's a Mexican beer, but like, I mean, it's from America, right? They brew it in America or something like that.
The Mexican cerveza.
I don't know. That seems to be a brand that people keep on saying it is. They technically are owned by Anheuser-Busch, but I looked at I could not find anything to that. So that is fake news.
Fake news.
Very fake news.
Is this fake news? Did this happen already?
What the
Duke and Toad debated shirtless?
Yeah, on Kyle's podcast. Yeah.
Really?
Kyle had him. Yeah.
I thought he was a co-host of the show. Apparently he's not gonna share that with us, so we can clip it. We're gonna have to clip that and then play it.
Good.
Link it so we can bring it up.
Who won?
Yeah, who won? I want to know who won.
Seriously, we're rooting for our boy.
Dude, like Toad has the best one-liners. I'm sorry. If any human that I've ever met, he has the best fucking one-liners, and he says some shit on the fly that I've never heard anybody be able to fucking do before. I'm telling you, like, Toad fucking owned. I'm sorry, Duke. I love Duke. He's so Duke. Fucking cool. Wow. But Toad fucking took it for sure, dude.
They are really. It is a close race in the comedy candidate arena. But to get back to Franz, though, I could deal with the Modelo. I could deal with the OnlyFans come pick. I could deal with everything else. But, what's up with the whole mask thing? Like, what is that? Like,
It's like,
What mask thing? What are you talking about?
I had to be prepared. Do you notice it says the Libertarian Party of California?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking tried to make us wear this shit for convention. Anyways, so yeah. 2020, he's like, COVID's not real. 2021, he started selling masks through his merch website, which is a huge generator of a lot of his money. This dude makes a shit ton of fucking money off of his merch and his OnlyFans and his music too. But he was selling a lot of like masks, and he also was selling shirts that said single and vaccinated. And I asked him point blank about what's going on with that. He's from Florida. He lives not too far away from you guys. And he told me that he was under basically threat of losing his entire livelihood. All the venues were shutting down. He almost couldn't tour and make music or make any money at all. And I'm not saying this because it's a good excuse, because I actually don't think it's a good excuse at all. I think that people should stand up against things that they don't believe in, but he doesn't believe in government mandated vaccines at all. And he does not believe that the government should force people to mask. He believes that it should be something people decide to do on their own. And he did not take a public stance against that at all. And I that's where he's at. I literally just talked to him about this yesterday.
So are people mad at him for like masking, or is it more so just frustration with the fact that he was selling masks?
I think it's more frustration that he was selling masks, and he made a couple posts on Twitter as well, like mask at my shows. And he made one that was like, I've never met somebody who wasn't ugly, or people who don't wear masks are ugly, or some stupid shit like that.
I'd love to have a conversation with him, dude.
I know.
Mask can be deceiving. Like the entire time I was working a retail job, the chick next door seemed hot, and then the day that mask came off, Beaver Cheek City, bro.
Yeah, man.
Beaver Cheek City.
No,
the day that mask came off, she was 400 pounds.
So here's my pitch to libertarians. All right, like this guy's like, when it comes to our libertarian purity test, at least mine, where I come from, I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I believe in Austrian economics and, ending the Fed, and all the same shit that like most people in our circle stand for. And
you've been called not a real libertarian.
Absolutely.
All the names.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking 95% of the way there. He's not a perfect libertarian. And but the truth is that he's got a fan base around him that needs the message of liberty. All right. And if we as the liberty movement, treat him like shit and fucking piss him off and make him just say, fuck this, and make him walk away, like you can do that. Like, I'm not telling people to not say what they want to say. I'm asking for a little bit of grace here, because we can actually do something completely different and make him the guy that you can actually coach him into being that guy.
I mean, that platform's crazy. The 1 million and 2 million. I mean, we had that with Dave Smith, and now he's not running. So we need someone with a big platform like that to run. And these other candidates simply don't.
Truthfully, like I'm his campaign manager, and I know the reality of how libertarians work and how much of a chance he actually would have at winning at the national convention. I understand this completely. All right. But when it comes to platforming somebody and getting a message out there, or just even getting the name libertarian out there, we can have libertarian trending on Twitter again, and people could be looking that shit up. Doesn't have to be fucking perfect, man. Like, it just doesn't. I didn't come into the party as a perfect libertarian, and I actually don't know a single person who did. So I think that like this guy's, he's super fucking based, and he's made some, silly tweets that, he definitely wishes he could take back.
He's a resident of Florida. He's a resident of Florida.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
We need to get him. We need to talk after the pod and actually,
yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah. I'll try to make it happen. And like, I think that really, like I said, I've been talking to Phil Abante a lot because Phil Abante, or at least over the last couple of days, he was messaging me back and forth. And he was kind of telling me, if you don't know who Phil Abante is, he's the singer of All That Remains. He's libertarian.
Seen him on
He's
Tim Pool.
working with
That's
Tim
fine.
Cast. Yeah. He does the Culture War show. And his advice to me too was basically to just try to get, everyone to understand that this campaign isn't going to be a libertarian purity contest. He's running because he wants to solve problems in the real world. All right. Like, would we have the same libertarian purity contest if somebody like Vince Vaughn decided they wanted to run for the Libertarian Party? Like, honestly, I mean, it's a little bit different. It is a little bit different. Vince Vaughn will never have an OnlyFans. All right. And I'm not going to pay for porn.
I mean, if you've watched Wedding Crashers unrated, you've seen more of that man than anyone should.
Fucking fair. But truthfully, like, are we going to like scare a bunch of these people away just because they're not all the way? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. These guys have a platform and a way to get our message out there more than anybody that is actually doing anything right now.
I think it's a bridge to our more progressive, fence leaners out there that might be possibly voting Democrat too. It's like,
sure. And I mean, the music scene, like I said, the music scene's my goal. This is like an area where people are already very anti-government, not trusting of authority at all. Mm-hmm. Like, these people need a place to go, and none of the two parties don't fucking represent them at all. So why not show them the fuck you vote? Why not give them a door into this movement? They don't have to be perfect coming in either. We can help them get there, but we need them to get here first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know.
Well, the benefit that I see is and perhaps this isn't purely youth outreach because there's people like us here too, but that kind of that entrance to the that door, as you put it, to the rock and roll world. And, there's people who I've talked to behind the scenes before this episode today who are kind of telling me all these I'm sure you know who this person is, but he's telling me all these stories of different rock bands that he's hung out with behind the scenes, who he gets talking to these guys. And there's this huge fear of being canceled. You know what I mean? So with that, you have guys who are already kind of thinking fuck, you know what I mean? Who is out there looking out for me?
Absolutely. And this is a big thing in the scene, man. Like, getting canceled is real, dude. And when you're a musician, that shit can happen overnight. Like, even our own dude, Dan Smots, he was supposed to have a CD release party like a couple months ago, canceled the day of because one of the bands found out that he had some radical views or whatever. And then they called all the other bands, and all the bands fucking dropped off the show.
That's gay.
This isn't even just fucking national bands here. We're talking about our own friends here. All right. But when it comes to that level, though, these are people who are trying to make a living and to survive off of music. And I know it to be true that it's almost fucking impossible to do that. I toured across the country. I've been in 40 states playing music. And all the money that we ever got as a band, we put right back into the band. We did not take a cent of it. Like, it is fucking hard to get to that level. And once you get to that level, you need to protect it. And I get it. It's rough. It's hard to take a stance against shit sometimes. I'm glad that there's some people that are doing it. But there's not a lot of people in the music world that are crossing that bridge at all. Mm-hmm. And it's because, predominantly the music scene is very much so on the left side of the spectrum. That's just the fact.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So I got to ask then, you seem like you've been more in at least a step above where I'm at in the music world. I'm fucking performing at coffee shops. You've actually toured. So I got to ask this because there's kind of this thing among actors and actresses that if they don't talk about politics that much, generally they're more liberty-minded, be it conservative or libertarian or whatever. Would you say there's a similar thing in the rock world?
Like, if they don't talk about politics, they're usually
on their platform. You know what I mean? Obviously, a conversation like the one we're having right now is very different.
No, man. I don't think so. I think, I guess I can see it a little bit. out of just my friend group, the people who don't really post a lot tend to actually be a little more conservative. The people who are really fucking loud are usually progressives telling everybody to fucking, with blue hair, half their head shaved, telling people to fucking,
Get your
hormone.
boosters.
Yeah, get your fucking booster.
Yeah.
But no,
Mask
truthfully,
up, guys.
it really is all over the place. It's really hard to tell when you're in the music world, and people are kind of scared to talk about it, really. It's which is shitty because music is so fucking political. It's so fucking political. And I know most of the music I created was subliminally political, at least, if not all the way advertently political. So, or intentionally political. But yeah, like, just fucking not like what my hope was over the last couple of years, man, that we'd have this fucking punk rock revolution coming up out of the COVID regime, and people will come out fucking swinging at the end of it, writing songs. And dude, I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything like that. If anything, it just closed down a bunch of venues. A bunch of bands just fucking quit because they were sick of it, and nobody was writing fucking music in that direction at all.
We need a hit between you and Eric July.
Full send. Yeah, I love Backwards. I heard is actually writing music again too, so I'm excited to hear that.
Oh, good shit.
Yeah, but yeah, we definitely need more people writing music that are liberty minded. For me, like I did that for a long time. We had labels reach out to us and offer to sign us. We've toured. I've lived a lot of cool dreams of mine. My new dream isn't any of that. Like I want to start a new project, and I've already got like a project going here. Revolutionary punk rock is what I'm calling it. We're gonna turn to like the roots of punk rock, make it like anti-government as fuck. Everything's gonna be in your face. Fuck the government. I don't care. This is the shit I was raised on. You know what I mean? The stuff that I thought was these people were actually anti-government, but then it turns out people like Rise Against and Rage Against the Machine are playing at the Democratic National Convention. So
wait, Rise Against, did they sell out too?
Oh, 100%. They played the DNC. Yeah. They're horrible. Yeah, I'm sorry to do that to
you. Burst my bubble, man. I thought that they were
so
at least
sorry.
progressives.
I'm so sorry to do that to you.
No.
But yeah, like no effects. Like, man.
While we're not bubbles, I will say that as of September 2023, Anheuser-Busch purchased Grupo Modelo. So Modelo is also Anheuser-Busch.
So it is.
It is.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Goddamn.
Burst away. Burst your bubble.
Burst away.
Now I'm disappointed.
There you go. I mean, it's still a good beer. They purchased.
I don't want their gay beer to contaminate my Mexican beer.
Yeah. Now it's American. Anyway. Now it's
I
American.
want gay people to be able to protect their Mexican beers with Area 15s. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hell yeah. God damn it. I had something else I was gonna say.
I mean, I got something here too.
Okay.
I mean, I could just go right into that.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
All right, Ben, there's one controversy. I can deal with a lot of these things. I could deal with Franz. I could deal with, I don't know, whatever controversies. I could deal with the shit talk from our libertarian friends up there in New Hampshire you gave me before the show started. The one thing I cannot deal with, my friend, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Time travel, bro.
Dude, I did not think it was that bad, bro. It was better than Crystal Skull.
Now it's like that Simpsons meme.
I know.
I say the Empire Strikes, not Empire's amazing. Phantom Menace sucked more. I say Attack of the Clones sucked more.
Indiana Jones is my favorite movie of all time. I watch it every year on my birthday. I watch all 3 of them. My birthday's fucking next Wednesday. So I'm planning to do that.
I can't hate on you for that.
The original trilogy obviously can never be beat. Like there's no touching it at all. And Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was fucking horrible. But Dial of Destiny, watching that movie, it was not great. It was good. And the CGI, the way they had him fucking looking young again was on point. And the ending of that fucking movie literally like had me fucking tearing up, dude.
You know they
Moved me.
changed the ending, right?
Into the movie moved me.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. I can prove it. Overlord DVD on YouTube was reporting on this over a year ago. The original ending had it to where he was going to die, and then they reshot it, and you can go find the Hollywood Reporter articles where they're literally saying that, yeah, they had to delay the movie over a year to reshoot the ending. John Williams even talked about it. Like, yeah, I'm not even kidding.
That's disappointing as hell, but also I do like the other ending.
I mean,
I
they
like
probably
the
changed it because they showed it to people and they're like, who the hell wants to watch this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Indiana Jones is supposed to fucking live forever, dude. Come on. Every fucking movie, his hat's at the end, he's grabbing it, you know what I'm saying? Like he's on to the next one, dude, you know? But
I don't know. For me, it's like there's stories that have been lost to the sands of time. Like, I don't know if you've ever gone down the lost movie rabbit hole or like lost media, like, you know, the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
There's a third book in that series that is lost to the sands of time.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did not even know that.
I would not lose sleep if Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny both got lost to the sands of time.
Damn.
Well, I'll ask you, are you at least excited for the second Dune movie? Because I'm fucking stoked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm fucking stoked about that, dude. The first Dune movie was so good.
That one was that I forget that I keep on forgetting that director's name, but he's really been on my radar more and more. Like, he also did Blade Runner 2049, I believe it is.
Oh, yeah.
But no, Dune Part 2 is going to be really cool. And Rob, if you're not familiar with Dune, this is going to be one of those things where we're going to have to sit you down and watch Dune.
Yeah, definitely got to watch it. I did not even read the book growing up.
It's okay, man. Like,
it's okay.
Yeah, it's really
the book
okay.
is a fucking mammoth.
Is it okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's thicker than my
I know
second wife. I've been married more than once, actually, but
thicker than the Latinas down here in Florida.
Yes, thicker than the Latinas in Florida, that's for sure. With all their tamales and
I think the girl I'm watching to or talking to right now is watching this, so I can't comment on the thickness of Latinas right now. But we're gonna.
It's fine.
If it's shooting the viewership up, I'm not gonna complain.
I did remember what I was gonna say, but now I fucking forgot again. Fuck again, dude. Damn it.
It's all good.
No, I'm gonna remember it, and then I'll say it.
In the meantime, can I at least throw out a question that I'm sure many people watching want to know? What are your top 5 bands, like rock bands, punk? You know.
All right, my number one favorite band of all time is MXPX. They were the first band that introduced me to punk rock when I was like 8, maybe 7. I've got them tattooed on my calf. I love them so much. I'm going to see them at Furnace Fest in Alabama in a couple weeks, actually. I love Social Distortion. One of my favorite bands is Emery, which comes from like the more like emo post-hardcore realm of things. Showbread is absolutely one of the best bands of all time. It's a cult following for sure, but they were on Tooth and Nail Records back in the day, and they're fucking amazing. And Sum 41.
Hell yeah.
I love Sum 41.
Shit, I almost wore my Sum 41 shirt to this episode, and I didn't. And
I'm absolutely heartbroken that they're breaking up.
Apparently, they're recording one final album.
They're recording 2, actually. It's going to be a dual album called Heaven and Hell or something like that. And they're touring with The Offspring this fall, and then they're going to do one final tour. And like, dude, like literally these guys have been with me since I was a kid, and I'm not ready. I'm probably going to just follow their fucking tour and go to like half the shows. I don't care how much money it costs, man.
Damn.
They put on one of the best shows I've ever seen. They're so good.
They really are kind of some of those legends of like early Warped Tour and like 90s punk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And even they kind of pivoted a little bit into metal too.
Yeah, they had their moment with I can't remember what the album was called. It had like
Screaming Bloody Murder
on it. Yeah, Screaming Bloody Murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely had their time with that. But like, dude, like you listen to their songs, like they don't really write a bad song. They're all bangers. Like you can listen to the whole album You don't skip tracks really for the most part. So definitely some good shit there.
Hell yeah.
What's that band name? What's the band's name again?
Sum 41.
Sum 41.
You would absolutely know a bunch of their songs, man.
They're one of those bands that
like I've
you've
heard of
heard
them
something
before,
from
yeah.
the movie. Yeah. Well, if you're familiar, like they're from that same era of like Blink 182, Green Day.
Well, you said they were touring with Offspring, right?
Yeah.
Offspring and Simple Plan. Yeah.
Yeah, both like household names to people who grew up like around the same time we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely forgot what I was gonna say. It's lost to the sands of time, just like
it's gone.
Yeah, it's
just
gone.
like that third book from Homer.
Yep, it is gone.
But
I tried so hard.
It's cool, man. It happens. But nah, man, the rock and roll scene has just. If anything, I'm optimistic. Like, I'm not gonna lie, dude. At first, I really thought the emo caucus was just another joke caucus. You've proven otherwise to me.
I just, dude, this is like my passion, man. This is my scene. These are my people. Like I said, I know how to talk to them, and other musicians really do too. And I think it's important, man, like just giving them a gateway into this, because that's how a lot of us form our political opinions, is through music and art. If we want to have any impact at all on culture, it's absolutely not going to happen in the political realm or by electing a politician. It's going to happen through the shit that people are listening to and viewing through media and stuff like that. There's absolutely no fucking chance that a politician is going to save the culture. So people like musicians and just infiltrating the music scene and the music world, it's important. Like every show I go to, I try to wear a shirt or something that has some kind of liberty message on it. I wear a vest that says I'm an anarchist and live free or die and all this shit. And people come up to me and talk to me at the end of every show. Like the last 2 emo nights I've been to, I stood outside the venue after the show for 3 hours, not only sobering up, but also talking about the Libertarian Party, libertarian messaging, and what it is to be an anarchist that is not what they think an anarchist is with the fucking Antifa bullshit. You know what I mean? So for some reason, people all think that like Antifa is fucking anarchist and not the fascists that they actually are.
But super government. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I meet a bunch of like anarcho-communists too. And they'll, don't tell me you're an ANCAP. And I'm just like, can we talk about this when we get a little closer? Because we have like fucking millions of government employees. This is a pipe dream. We're both in pipe dreams right now.
I talked to a comedian who came in town from Houston, and he was an anarcho-communist, and we had a super productive conversation. It's like we agreed on most everything there.
Yeah.
Except for the communist part of it, you know?
Yeah.
And he had read Rothbard and even Mises and shit like that. And I was like, who are? I was like, at least you're well read on it.
Yeah, and comms are like that too. Like they'll have like they're willing to have the conversations with you, and a lot of them do realize that they live in a pipe dream too. But then they like cling to these like progressive politicians and try to go through that realm to get to what they want. I'm just like, you guys aren't seeing it all the way, man. You know,
it's about the guns. No,
right.
Well, that's where I've noticed there's 2 types of anarcho-communists I encounter. There are those who actually are anarcho-communists, like they're familiar with Bakunin or Kropotkin or whoever. And then there's the types who are just communists who like the word anarchy because it sounds edgy.
Right. Yeah, no, it's yeah. And those are the people that you see like fucking setting cars on fire in the street. They're not fucking anarchists, man. They're not. Like the idea of anarchy is like going off and homesteading and living outside the government realm and just being by yourself and being peaceful with your community and self-governing and voluntarism. Like these guys can't even begin to comprehend that at all for some reason, you know. But
I also like what you said about, writing more songs that kind of, express your libertarian values and stuff. I mean, people are hungry for it. Look how big, we talked about it last episode. Look how big that Oliver Anthony song got, the country song. Richmond, north of Richmond. So that blew up. So I think there's a hunger for these kind of ideas out there. You just have to find a way to permeate it through.
there is, and if I could real quickly, I just want to add this into you before we start to wrap stuff up here. I want to tell you guys about this one punk rock lady. Her name was Ayn Rand.
Fuck yeah.
I know.
dude.
Anyway, what you're talking about though, with like music and culture and whatever influencing people, she talks about that in the Romantic Manifesto. There's people who, you know, like us, will read things like Mises and Rothbard and whatnot, but the vast majority of people, they absorbed this through art or whatever they consume, be it music or movies, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, this is my niche. You know, my new band's called Pine Tree Riot. Here in New Hampshire, there was an event in history called the Pine Tree Riot. Happened before the Boston Tea Party. It led up to the Boston Tea Party and the Revolution.
Oh,
And basically, the Royals were saying any tree that's over 10 inches in diameter, you owe us a tax on it. And Weir, New Hampshire was like, that's not happening. So they sent the deputy or the constable or whatever to go and arrest the guy who owned the lumber mill. And they said, fuck you. And then they burned all the trees and put the constable and the sheriff or whatever in prison overnight.
yeah.
And told him to kick rocks. And that
Love
happened
it.
right before the Boston Tea Party. So it really led to the revolution. That's why I called my band Pine Tree Riot. And I want to start a fucking fire, man. I'm ready to start a fire and bring fire to the music world and get this shit kicking off on this revolution, man. So
I love that. And that's why the British still have to pay a tax for their TV license over there. That's why. Dude, that's one of those things that makes me so mad. The British. The British just make me so angry.
Honest to God, New Hampshire, I got to give you guys credit. You have been based before America even existed.
And
Yeah,
you know
dude.
what? New Hampshire
Pretty
wants
based.
points with me today. You have we have a little friendly rivalry going on between Florida and New Hampshire, if you don't know. So
Oh, I've seen, yeah.
good point.
We
I'm
all
on the
know.
board, so I see it. I see it all.
There you go.
All right, but anyway, if we would just want to wrap stuff up here, Ben, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, follow the Libertarian Party Emo Caucus on Twitter and on Facebook. And our Facebook group is, growing every day. It's still kind of small. We get in there. We're making things happen. We have presidential candidates to speak for that no one else can say they have. And we're stoked about that. Look into Josh Smith, look into Toad, look into Franz, see who you like, and help us amplify this message. Follow me on Twitter, the Emo ANCAP. I say some stupid shit, but maybe you'll like that. Yeah, also check out the Free State Project because everyone needs to move to New Hampshire.
Or Florida. Yep. We're trying to start the Free County Project down here. It's slow moving, but we have to work a little smaller. That's a plug. That's a plug for you, Mitch. Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Rob, you want to plug your stuff?
Yeah. So come out, Florida Freedom Festival, the second annual Florida Freedom Festival. I'll be down there hosting the first comedy show on Saturday night, the 30th at 7:00. Bringing a couple Pensacola comics with me and Kyle Ruff from over in Colorado. He's a libertarian comedian, so that's gonna be a fun time. And also, I am hosting I was texting him, making sure I could announce, and he said he announced it, so they're good. Duval County Libertarian Party has me hosting the presidential forum over there on October 21st. Josh Smith will be there, so talk to your boy Franz and see if he wants to join. It's 21st of October.
Dope.
In Jacksonville.
Damn, that sounds rad. All right, well, I guess go follow me on Twitter at MitchConnorJLo. And man, I wish the 3 people who tuned in were still sticking around because I actually have a cool announcement here. So 1776swag.com. I come out here every week and I advertise it to you people. I even added some new designs today, one heavy metal libertarian one made specifically for this episode. Rock on. But also, I am currently overstocked with some shirts from an old provider that I'm no longer using. So for now, at least until I run out of this stock, I have a deal going where if anyone purchases over $100 worth of merch, you will get a free shirt from the grab bag. It could be something like this, saying anarchy is a preferable solution. or it could be something else. So get them while they're here. Anyway, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Ben, for coming out. We will see you next week when we have a very special guest who's been in every thumbnail.